Greetings everybody. So today, I realized that my next video is taking a little while to research. It's all about the Satanic Panic and yeah, there's a fuckload of stuff. So I thought, why not, do something else. Do something else while I'm messing around with that. And I thought, I never really read any creepypastas before. Now, my channel tends to be more focused around like horror and mysteries and the paranormal and stuff, but I was going to focus on creepypastas, but then I realized I've never really read any. So today, I'm going to start a new series. It's called Creepypasta Virgin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of the most famous creepypastas from the internet and kind of like figure out whether they're actually any good or not. I thought today would be a great day to start with Jeff the Killer. Now I've heard mixed things about this. Not really much about the story itself, just a lot of people are like, it's pretty fucking stupid, or it's amazing. So it's got 8.7 out of 37,000 votes, but let's see if it's any good. So let's begin this live reading, shall we? Get all spooky and scary. Here we go. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I don't know if I should do any voices. Yeah, let's do voices.
I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night,
says the boy.
I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes.
That's what a pair is. Like, is it a pair of two separate eyes? As in two people? Or do they mean two eyes? Because then you don't need to say a pair, you just say there were two eyes. Anyway.
These weren't regular eyes, they were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up.
That's really seductive for a little boy to be describing.
The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it, a simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak.
This kid's pretty illiterate. Like, he's got a fucking nice vocabulary for a young little boy.
He said, "Go to sleep."
That's not really like a simple phrase, but it's said in a way only a madman could speak. Go to sleep isn't necessarily a madman. Like, every parent in the world is a madman. Well, they are, because you had kids. I'm sorry. I just can't understand that. But go to sleep isn't a crazy thing to say. Anyway, sidetracked.
I let out a scream. Ah!
That's how I imagine he screams.
That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming it at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulders. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police.
Alright, let's keep going. Fuck, there's a lot of NRMA ads here. If you want NRMA, if you want to sponsor my videos, go ahead. I love some free roadside assistance. My car breaks down constantly.
They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken.
Oh, my cat's attacking me. Go away.
I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile, they will never leave my head.
Alright, so far, someone broke into someone's house, tried to kill a kid, ninja fucking starred, threw a knife into some guy's shoulder, and then just bailed. So, eventful night, I would say. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits a description in this story, please contact your local police department. I think the Joker might have done it. Oh! Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Oh my god, like Oliver, he's my cat. Shut the fuck up. I love you. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house, what was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbours came by. Oh, fuck, another voice. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbours." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mum, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Fuck, if I'm going to do a live reading, I should probably read properly. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his room. Jeff went up to his mum. Fuck.
Mum, why don't you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid.
Well, you're actually pretty smart, judging by the way you speak. "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbours. Now we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but something stopped him. But stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mum said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Is he playing with himself? Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. Oh, fuck. Okay. I didn't need this in my life. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. You shouldn't do that. Like, you should probably go to the doctors. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, that's such a fucking stupid... He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. I love that sentence. Is just, I don't know, very redundant, but amazing at the same time. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. Oh, dude, not at the table, man. That's just disgusting. This time it was stronger. Fuck. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise.
Hey, what the hell?
This kid's pretty gangster. He's fucking just ollieing over kids. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. Ooh, certified badass. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. Oh shit, so my voice is a little bit inaccurate. He wears a Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Yeah, hardcore kid. Oh, yes, this sentence here, I gotta get a good voice for it.
Well, it looks like we got some new meat.
Suddenly, two other kids appeared, like Batman with the smoke grenade. Just poof. Children! Everywhere! I don't know, that was a joke going somewhere and it didn't go somewhere. That's fine. One was super skinny and the other one was huge.
Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith.
Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. Ooh, sassy.
And here's Troy.
They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. These fucking Jeff and Lou are cunts. Even though these guys are probably bullies, they're cunts anyway. It's like a Stephen King novel. Everyone's an asshole.
And I, said the first kid, am Randy.
Is that his name or is he just horny? God damn, there's a lot of sexual undertones in this story that I didn't realize.
Now for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift.
I'm assuming he actually just means the bus fare, and my voice of Keith is suddenly fucking changing. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Yeah, this is definitely a Stephen King story.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way.
And that's when the porno music kicks in.
Getting on. And I'm doing this over 12-year-olds. It's disgusting, Thomas. You need to reassess your life.
The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Oh, dude, the most inappropriate times. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. Now, if it's a burning sensation, like, you should probably go to the doctors, because, you know, you can get a cream to fix that. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else.
Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife.
Oh, what will you do?
Just as he finished his sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Fucking Jeff. Jesus Christ, gangster. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hands. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Fucking hell. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed to him. This is one of the most popular creepypastas in all time. Rushed to him. Rushed him too, sorry. I'm fucking it up as I'm saying that there's problems with it. But Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Jeez, that's unfortunate. Louis could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how did you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. I don't know, man, like, I feel like you could easily go, look, this guy had a knife and try to attack us. And I'm assuming Keith isn't well known, known in the most positive light around the town, so I think, you know, Jeff could get away with it. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. Like, you're making yourself look so much more fucking, guilty by running away. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge just to hurt someone. Oh, shit. We got a serial killer on our hands. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away. Did he ejaculate while he's beating the shit out of these people? And stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be able to take the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice,
"It was a wonderful day."
Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. You don't need... anyway, I'm not going to bother critiquing this sentence structure much more. Jeff, these officers tell me you attacked 3 kids? That it wasn't regular fighting? That they were stabbed? Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that was true. I don't know, I feel like you're in the right, Jeff.
Mum, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou.
Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having bruises on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. See, Jeff, I fucking told you, man. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them attacking first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids.
Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner, and they both nodded. Shit.
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. What? You're not Judge Dredd. You can't just fucking pass down sentences. Jesus Christ. Wait, said Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them onto Lou. What? It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops.
No, Lou! It was me! I did it!
Jeff had tears running down his face. Huh, poor bro.
Trying to take the blame for what I did? Well, take me away!
The police led Lou to the patrol car. I'm fucking up my voices.
Lou, tell them it was me! Tell them! I was the one who beat up those kids!
Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it was Lou! You can stop! How do we know it was Lou? Besides him having a knife, there's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop cars sped off with Lou inside. I can't get over this. This is great. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept into the driveway. Why isn't the mum going to the police station? Like, I don't understand. Like, she just let this fucking police officers who can somehow, you know, make sentences up on the spot, just let him go away with their fucking kid, and she's just like, Lou was a lost cause anyway. He's a fucking asshole. Anyway, back to this story. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. So many fucking emotions. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing out off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Lou or JDC, no friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That it was until Saturday when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. "Jeff, it's the day," she said as one of the curtains opened and let a light flood into his room.
What's today?"
asked Jeff as he stirs awake. "Why, it's Bill's party." He was now fully awake.
"Mum, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after?"
There was a long pause. "Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now, get dressed." Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. What? He fought himself to get up. Okay. He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. What? Yeah, I have the same thought here, Jeff. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? "Son, is that all you're going to wear?" said Jeff's mum.
"Better than wearing too much,"
he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. "I'm gonna fucking murder you, lady, you cunt." "Now, Jeff, we may have been overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression," said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room.
"I don't have any fancy clothes,"
he yelled downstairs. "Just pick out something," called his mother. Like, dude, he literally did pick out something. You're the motherfuckers who have overdressed. Like, I don't understand why he needs to go change shit. You should go. It's a kid's birthday party. If I was like the parent and someone like my new neighbors rocked up in like fancy clothes, I'd be like, what the fuck is this people doing? Alright, here we go, back to it. He looked around his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. "Oh fuck, here we go." "You're wearing that?" they both said. His mother looked at her watch. "Oh no time to change, let's just go." Like, again, it's across the road, you have fucking all the time in the world, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and they knocked on the door and at it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, was way overdressed. They knocked on the door and at it appeared that Barbara. Fucking hell. What? This has like a 9 rating. Anyway, I must be missing out on the good bits. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. "Oh, what's happening?" "The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them?" said Barbara. "Is this a fucking funeral? Is this a funeral?" Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He may as well be standing at Toys R Us. Oh, that's sad. Toys R Us are closing down. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. "Hey, wanna play?" he said. Fuck, here we go, Jeff. Jesus Christ, Jeff is too cool for this.
No kid, I'm way too old for this stuff."
The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. "What?"
"Please,"
said the kid.
"Fine,"
said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. Oh shit, here we go, he's gonna get like murderous. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. Took his mind off Lou. You can just say off Lou, you don't say off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Fuck, these kids have got popped the largest ollies in the history of the world. And also, is their front yard all cardboard and their backyard cardboard? Is their front yard all concrete and their backyard all concrete as well? Like, skateboards don't go good on grass. Anyway, Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose.
I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you and you get my brother sent to JDC.
Again, 8.9. Randy got an angry look in his eyes.
Oh no, I don't go for even, I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today.
As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Fucking hell, these kids are just ruthless. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and the parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. What? What the fuck? No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Oh my god, this is the fucking stupidest story. What is happening? Why? Okay. Serious face, back to it. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me! My voice for Keith is just inconsistent. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. Jesus. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Oh my god, this is like a fucking bar fight, but like with 12-year-olds. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Just a heads up, and get rid of the Keith voice, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with it. Oh, finally, you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet. Blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, and the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. Then that's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him onto the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the face. In the heart, sorry. Punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch. Blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids. This poor kid's birthday party has been ruined by murder. Even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff, Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him. Each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. What? I thought Keith was the one fighting him. Ah, fuck, I don't know. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs a towel rack and rips it off the wall. Gangster as fuck. Troy and Keith race in, their knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. Fuck. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they started to scream. Why aren't the parents intervening now? I don't get this. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. Like, what are the parents? Are the parents just like, nah, let them sort it out. They're adults now.
What's so funny?
Asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. What's funny, he said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. Alright, we're taking a quick detour. Let's have a quick detour. Is bleach flammable? I spelled flammable very wrong. I don't care. Google, correct it for me. Chlorine gas can... Oh. Is bleach flammable? Let's have a look, see. Bleach is essentially chlorine dissolved in water. It's not a flammable substance on its own. If mixed with certain materials such as ammonia or acetylene, it becomes unstable. Alright, so we know, first, bleach isn't flammable. Is vodka flammable? And for this reason, only 30% of alcohol, blah, 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 blah. Let's have a look. How flammable is vodka? Taking a quick detour here. Hello.
This is kind of an extension to our video.
I don't think these guys are really
This
Russian.
right here is the real shit. So, for this
Alright.
I want to demonstrate how fucking volatile this shit is. Okay, show.
What vodka are you drinking?
Don't do this at home, boys.
Dumbasses.
Boys,
Up.
your boys, you get off of the video because you're not allowed to watch it because this is for grown-ups only, and that's 21 plus.
What the fuck are you on about, bro? I don't think you're in the state of mind to be recommending things. Also, this guy's... Let me to put this out. He's... Oh, he's gone, but look at this. He's hung like a fucking
Or the
elephant? I don't know.
Tommy, light that one, light.
No, do not light it, but light your fucking pussy.
A taser! Yeah, let's use fucking taser. This is the best tangent I've ever had. I'm sorry, but this needs to happen. Oh, God. Okay. I'm gonna link this video in the description so you can check it out as well. What? I don't know why he hasn't got a shirt on.
China made taser, what do you think?
Ah, bloody Chinese made tasers! Fuck off, man.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna go with these guys are scientists as well.
Yes, just do it this way. This way.
Ah, real stuff.
This way.
Ah, fire! Fire! Ah!
Oh!
It's fucking obvious that this is real shit.
Who licks? Why is he licking his hand after he's burnt? Just run under the tap. Okay, well, judging by that, I'm going to assume that the bleach wouldn't set him on fire, and unless you're a redneck doing a terrible Russian impersonation, actually no, I'll give him to him. It's actually alright. I don't think that this will happen. While the alcohol burning the bleach bleached his skin, Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. Like, how covered in vodka is he? Like, oh, fuck it. I mean, there's no point even trying to critique that part. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. Jesus Christ. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, dropped to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flames. That's when he passed out. Alright, so we got the origin story. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out, and the nurse rushed in. That's not really secured very well. I don't think he can get out of bed just yet, she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered and he was unable to speak. Fuck, Mum. Be aware of what's happening. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed of trying to attack you, they decided to let Lou go." So what? Not Randy, you know, nearly murdering them and pulling out guns and shit. That wasn't the part that made them go, maybe it was fucking Randy. No, it was him saying that he did it. I mean, whatever. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to get together again. Now, I feel like maybe the police should be investigating this a little bit. I don't know. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff. Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day his bandages were to be removed. I don't know. I think it takes a lot longer than a couple of weeks to like get burns, you know, healed. Oh well. His family were all there to see it and what he would look like. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. Okay. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. Let's hope for the best. Fuck. Optimism, said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face.
What? What happened to my face?
Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the causes of their distress. His face, it's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white colour, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hands to his face. It had sort of a leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family and then back at the mirror. Jeff, said Lou, it's not that bad. Lou, I don't know, man. Sounds pretty bad. I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Jeff the Killer. Let's see how look at what not that bad is to Lou. Not that bad. I don't know, man. That looks that bad. Anyway.
Not that bad,
Said Jeff.
it's perfect.
What? His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff, are you okay?
Okay, I've never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha. Look at me, this face goes perfectly with me.
He couldn't stop laughing. This is literally like the Joker kind of thing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you might... oh my god, why do they need to explain this part? What caused this? You may recall that when Jeff was fighting, ranting something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know. Doctor, said Jeff's mum, is my son alright, you know, in the head? Nah, mate, he's not. Oh no, the doctor disagrees. Oh yes, this behaviour is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behaviour doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here. We'll give him a psychological test.
Do it now, maybe?
Like, this story isn't called Jeff the Reformed, Jeff the lovely guy who goes and donates to charity. It's called Jeff the Killer. Like, I'm assuming this doesn't go well. Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed like a crazy smile.
Okay, mummy, ha ha ha.
Shit, nah, I wouldn't be letting him go anywhere. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mum looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke up to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. Jeff, what are you doing? Asked the mother. Jeff looked over to his mother.
I couldn't keep smiling, mummy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever.
Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black. Now, quotation. End that shit just there, please. Now, I will take him back to the doctors now, or the doctor's an idiot because this kid has clearly lost it. When was this written? Was this... We're gonna have a look back up. I know I'm gonna lose my place. When was this written? 2012, August 12th, 2012 by the looks of things. Now, gotta find my place. Shit, lost it. Cool. We're getting good. Alright. The Dark Knight. Way before. So, I think someone's taken inspiration from a little somebody. Not gonna name names here, but I think black eyes, cutting a smile to his face. Little bits like somebody else. I don't know who, but definitely inspired by somebody else. Jeff, your eyes! His eyes were seemingly never closing. Oh shit.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired. My eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself. My new face.
Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane.
What's wrong, mummy? Aren't I beautiful?
No. No, you're not beautiful. No. Also, I don't know how bad it would be to cut out your eyelids, but I don't think it gets the same effect that he thinks. Anyway, wrong video. Check this. Oh yeah, Half-Line Balls vodka. Great video. Good times. Yes, son, she said. You are. Let me go get daddy so we can see your face. She ran to the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun! Jeff stopped as she stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. Get the gun! We need to kill our child now!
Mummy, you lied!
That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up. Before Jeff's hand covered his mouth, he slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. I don't know why he killed Lou, like he's the nicest person. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh! Shh! Jeff said.
Just go to sleep!
That's it? That's it. Okay. Let's look at some reviews. Okay. What did I think of Jeff the Killer? Look, if... Like, oh my god, I don't know what to say. Look, because I'm doing this, I'm like, if I was someone else, I'm gonna check out a creepypasta. What's a famous one? And I like looked at Jeff the Killer, read that, I would fucking never check out creepypastas again, because I would love to see that as a short movie, like no shit, like just make that a movie, because it would be amazing to see, but not because it's any way scary or intimidating, because it's just fucking ridiculous and hilarious. Like, it was great. But no, utter dog shit, but still one of the greatest stories I've ever read in my entire life because of how stupid it was. Let's see some of the reviews. I can't believe you made the boy at the beginning use words like illuminating, ominous, horrendous, and let's go on. Now let's go on. No kid talks like that, especially a young one. Yeah, good. Obviously agree, but I still enjoyed it. Good. This has inspired me to take all the criticism from these comments and make it a better version of this story. What else? That's okay. It scared the living crap out of my sis out, and when she saw the picture, she said, "Oh God, now I'm going to have nightmares." Okay, it's not scary at all. I envy such looking characteristics. Call me crazy all you want. I'm the only sane one in my family. Oh, I doubt it. I really doubt it. It's especially not scary considering it's nothing more than a picture of someone with brightness and saturation set to the max due to a failed guessing first attempt at Photoshop. Sass! Okay, well... That is dumb? What? Your night, I had nightmares. Okay. Jeff is so creepy and his story is creepy that even made me scared. I'm gonna start this again because this sentence is just as bad as the fucking story. Jeff is so creepy and his story is creepy that even made me get scared at night. I was always not scared at night, but this night is creepy. Jeff is my fave creepypasta, but now he real key creeps me out in his story. Okay. Not to me, he will always be my favorite. He's beautiful just like me. I did the same thing as him. We are beautiful. Sure. Yeah, see, I relate to Nom Nom. It is fucking hilarious. Submitted Jeff revisited, not on the site yet. This is by far one of the best storylines I've ever read. Fuck off, you fucking fuck. Really? I mean, really? By far one of the best? Sit down and start reading them, because this creepypasta is the worst I've ever read. It belongs to the crappypasta section. Ooh, snap. I only finished it because I kept expecting it to get more and more ridiculous, and it did. Yeah, man, I'm on the same page as you, bro. I kept expecting it more and more ridiculous. I just gotta make it all apart a bit higher. Sorry, a bit bigger. Okay, I got past the thing that they were 12 years old who carried knives and mugged people on the street in broad daylight in the fancy part of town. I love it, that's the problem that he has. Also, why do they look like cartoon characters? A fat and skinny goon and the boss? That is how I imagine bad guys until the age of 5. Then the next day police came, sure, nobody witnessed the actual fight or anything, but then running away, that's something that witnesses remember. Okay, no problem, Jeff admits that. Then Lou, what kind of name is that? Holding a knife and the policeman pull their gun on a 12-year-old with a knife. He's not threatening anyone. Again, I think this is America, so I think that's like the part of the course. Is that the saying? But 2 adult policemen who actually have a strict protocol restricting them when and where to even touch their pistols. 2 officers aiming a gun at a kid for no reason at all could put their badge down for a lifetime. And that's not true. Then comes the party and the fight. Remember the first one? Randy's wrist snapped. Oh, I forgot about that. And the other guy stabbed in the arm. They magically healed in like a week. I fucking completely forgot about that one, but that is true. No way. They would not be healed. No need to plaster a broken hand. You can hit people with it. Okay, so these 12-year-olds decided that they'll murder somebody who beat them up. If you think that's how the world works, then you watch way too many action movies instead of reading books. Ah, man, look. The way that you write, though, suggests that you also don't read books. But I'm agreeing with you. Sorry. 12-year-olds beat each other up constantly, but they don't bring guns to some party with 50 people to murder another kid in front of a crowd of people. What 12-year-old would have the guts to do that anyway? Again, we're in the fancy part of town. It's not really a big deal. And this is where that's the problem. Like, they think because of the socio-economic background of these kids that they wouldn't be violent. Man, I don't know. And this is where we have to go back to the beginning of the story. A kid wakes up in the middle of the night, finds a monster in his bedroom, the cliche story we all know. In the middle of the night, they start fighting the monster, but they are interrupted by the police who are called by a neighbor. So you're saying that a neighbor was watching over their house all night waiting for the chance to call the police? They arrived pretty fast too, since it would have been easy for Jeff. He's supposed to have super fighting powers fueled by some dark thing in his brain, but the writer forgets to mention it. He's finished them off after he stabbed the kid's dad in the shoulder. So again, when there was supposed to be no witnesses at all, how long is this? Okay, cool. We'll get through this critique and I think we're done. So again, when there wasn't supposed to be no witnesses at all, someone called the police in the middle of the night, but nobody called them when they were fighting at the party. Jeff's face was burned. He spent time in the hospital. Even though he turned into an inferno right after he regained consciousness, he could sit up and so on. Actually, it takes months to heal from that. Without therapy, you can't even raise your hands, and even if you could, it would hurt like a bitch. And don't even get me started on the face and the hair. Burned victims don't have any hair left. Miraculously, his clothes were sewn back together as well. Yeah, true, even though they were supposed to be burnt. Throw those clothes away in reality, but whatever. So, we arrived at the ending. He went nuts, okay? But why did he kill his family? Just because you go insane, you won't try to murder people you love. Again, it's insanity, man. Like, you can't really dictate what insane people do. He wasn't a particularly evil kid or anything. Nothing indicated, at least, maybe inserting stories about Jeff torturing helpless animals or some shit, Jesus. And when his mother found out about his insanity, he immediately wanted to kill him. How does that make any sense? I noticed that someone from my family is crazy and I shoot him or her. What kind of mother could do that? This whole story is a ridiculous pile of steaming garbage. It's so horrible. I don't know how anyone can write something this bad. It's clearly I was going to write something cool, so I'll just throw in somebody else, some bloody scenes. Fake psychology and shit. I saw it in a horror movie and then I'm done before I get bored with it. Obviously written in one sitting. Horrible, just horrible. And the reason I'm so upset that this is actually a famous creepypasta. Man, I agree. Look, I don't get why Jeff the Killer is so fucking, like, loved by people. But we're going to do one more thing before we go. No, I won't do... I was going to do Jeff the Killer rule 34, but then I realised I should... Oh, yeah, we're doing it. Jeff the Killer rule 34. I'm stealing this from Funhouse. We're going to do... Every time I do one of these creepypasta videos, we're going to check out some rule 34. And I've got to figure out how to pixelate images. Okay, here we go. I'm an adult. I am an adult! Fuck off, Fat Titans. What? Jesus Christ, why is Jeff the Killer... What the fuck? Why do people find Jeff the Killer so sexy? Why is he getting fucked by tentacle penises? I don't understand any of this. Why? I don't know if I can show this one. Can I show this one? Nope, no Fat Titans again. Yeah, I can show you this one. Why is Jeff the Killer a stripper? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, I got to censor the ad out because it's just porn. The ad's just porn. Anyway, that was Jeff the Killer. How do I feel about it? It's pretty fucking terrible. But I enjoyed it a lot because it was so ridiculous and stupid that I enjoyed it too much, and I need this to be a movie. Like, can someone make this like a short film? And I bet you there already fucking is, but I want it like this, like just this stupid. Anyway, this is the first episode of Creepypasta Virgin. I can say I've lost my virginity to Jeff the Killer. That's a sentence I just said. And I keen to look at more. Keen to look a little more of them. But if there's any that you guys recommend that I should read, good or bad, I do prefer the bad ones, but I'm keen for some good scary ones too, because, you know, I actually want to be creeped out by these creepypastas. Yeah. Let me know on Twitter or comment in the section of comments that you can comment on YouTube, and I'll definitely try and check them out. And whichever one I tend to try and go into these things completely blind. So if you give me like a short little like, this is why you should check it out thing, yeah, I'll have a look. But thank you for joining me on Creepypasta Virgin. There shall be more to come. But yeah, have a lovely day. And also, fuck Jeff the Killer. It's stupid. Alright, bye bye everybody.